plaintiff, Maurice Jackson, says after he married the defendant's mother, he went into the military. Maurice claims around the time she got pregnant with the defendant, she was cheating. So he petitioned the court for a paternity test to see if he is the defendant's father. Defendant Tamika Colbert says while married, Maurice got her mother addicted to crack cocaine. And after he caused her to overdose, Maurice went to prison. Tamika's mother insists Maurice is Tamika's father, but Tamika agreed to take a paternity test today to prove it.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Sir, you've petitioned the court for a DNA test to determine paternity?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how old are you, ma'am?
39 years old.
All right. So 39 years later, we won a test. Tell me how this came out.
Well, I met her mother in 1977. She was from Oklahoma City. I'm from Pasadena, California. We hooked up. We got together, dated and everything. 2 years later, I went into the military, told her to hang out till I got settled and I'd come send for her. Well, she didn't wait. I was in the military about almost finishing basic. She decides to come in the military. When she came in the military, at that time, soldiers weren't being put together. So therefore, I had to go where she was stationed at in basic, and they made me go to school there. Upon getting there, I couldn't see her until she got time to take off from basic training to 6 weeks. Well, when that time came, she didn't come to me. She went to other soldiers and, you know, was hanging out with the other soldier men.
Hanging out how?
Sexually.
How do you know?
Because she took me to a place where we were supposed to go have sex, and the lady
pointed them out?
The lady pointed them out.
Yeah.
No, the lady who ran. No, the lady who ran the facility.
And him.
No, the lady who ran the facility.
Your turn.
The lady who ran the facility looked at her like, "Oh, you here again?" And I'm looking at, "You've been here before," because she took me there. And so when I got to Germany, she got there 6 weeks later. She told me she was pregnant. Right then, doubts are in my head.
Okay.
Okay, right then, I said, okay.
Did you
cool.
ask her?
I didn't ask
her. Have you been with anyone else?
I didn't ask her nothing. Wasn't no sense of going through it. I knew she was sleeping around.
How?
I'm just convinced of it, Your Honor, because it was happening before I went into the military.
There you go. Okay.
It was happening before I went into the military. Okay? And when I joined the military, I asked the recruiter, I said, how can I make some extra money? He said, the only way you can make some extra money is if you get married. Light bulb went off. I went and asked her if she wanted to get married. I married her. I went in, never having the intentions of staying with her. I just wanted the money from the government. I'll be honest with you. So when we got to Germany, when I got to Germany first, they put her with me.
Got that part. And so Miss Colbert was born at what point? You give me some background on what you want.
I was born in 1980 in Germany. As he stated, they were married before they joined the military. My mother gave some testimony, it's on video if you want to see it, as to how she came about getting pregnant with me. And she said that there was some manipulation on his part through the chain of command or something like that. Either way.
This is the first time you're hearing all this nonsense?
This is the first time that I'm hearing everything in its entirety, because this is very emotional for my mother. He did get her addicted to drugs. He overdosed her, and she got
What type of drug?
Yeah, I want to know.
My mother was a crack addict.
I didn't
Excuse me. I was quiet while you talked. Can you afford me the same respect? Anyway, he overdosed her.
Open this can.
How do you connect him to it?
He overdosed her.
How do you know that?
Because he went to jail.
For overdosing her?
He went to prison and she got a emotional discharge. She got an immediate discharge.
What did he go to jail for?
I'm guessing part of it is for overdosing her.
No, you can't guess.
Well, that's what she tells me.
Okay, there you go.
That's what she tells me.
All right. And did you go to jail in the past regarding something involving drugs and your wife?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
I went to prison for 2 counts of aggravated assault with intent to kill.
Against who?
That's what I went to
Against
prison
who,
for.
sir?
2 fellow soldiers who tried to throw me out of a 3-story window in Bamberg, Germany. That's why I went to prison. I went to prison a week after she was born. I went to Fort Leavenworth a week after she was born.
My mother tells me that he was in jail when I was born. He got to come home
Your Honor,
to see me when I was born, and then they sent him back. It's here nor there,
Your Honor,
but I haven't had a relationship with him.
Yes, we did, Your Honor. We had a relationship.
Until when?
When I got out of prison.
Until when?
Until just last year,
Okay.
when she showed up at
So
my
from
door at
1980 up through last year, you all had a relationship?
We have not, Your Honor.
All right. How often have you seen him over the years?
I've seen him one time for 15 minutes in 2016.
Since you were born?
Yes.
Is that correct or not?
No, it was 2018 when she saw me.
I have the proof, Your Honor.
Woo, big difference. All right. Let's see this video.
Maurice and I met when I was 16. He convinced me to marry him March the 2nd. When we walked out of the courtroom, he turned to me and said, "Angel, that's my nickname." He said, "I'm leaving." I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm joining the Army." I said, "Oh no, you can't leave me here by myself." And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to be accused of having sex with all kind of people because you're not here. 3 days later, he left. When I joined the military in 1979, Maurice manipulated chain of command, and he got conjugal visits approved for me to have sex with him while I was in basic training. I went to medical and come to find out I was pregnant. He found out that I was pregnant, and he acted like he was happy, but he wasn't. He was slapping me with, and I was going to work with black eyes, slapping me with a mug of beer in my, out of nowhere, explosive. It was terrible. I was being physically, mentally abused. And when I had Tamika, he had stabbed 2 guys over some potato salad that I made. He was in jail when I went into labor, and
Crazy.
I paid the bond for him to get out in time to see Tamika born. He was the first person to hold Tamika. He kissed her. He accepted her. He knows that was his baby. And he named her Tamika.
You were faithful.
I was always been faithful to him, yes.
There's no chance that I could be anyone else's child.
No chance.
All right. And you're requesting the test today, right?
I'm requesting the test.
All right. Why did you wait 39 years?
Because, Your Honor, when I got out of prison, I went to go see this child. The first night I was there, she had a horrible cold. I'm talking about green snot coming out her nose. In the middle of the night, she was wheezing. I woke up, turned on the light, she was covered with roaches. From the top of her head to the bottom of her feet, in her diapers, in her ears, in her mouth. I picked her up and started slapping the roaches off her. Her mother woke up in a hysterical fit, and as she snatched the baby from me, then walked in the door, put a .357 Magnum to my head and cocked a hammer.
Because you were knocking the roaches off of
Because I was knocking the roaches off. I don't know what her mother thought.
Somebody.
I don't know what her mother thought. Okay.
She thought perhaps what she had said, and that is you were a woman beater.
No, I wasn't, Your
Well, that's
Honor.
what she said,
Well,
and that's
a
probably
lie.
why you got the 357.
Your Honor, that's not true.
That is a lie.
Your
I
Honor,
had
I
nothing
actually
to
have
do.
All right,
She says
so-
I got her mother on drugs.
Got it. Now
Your
let's
Honor,
go back to what we're talking about, and
Right.
that is, why did that put a question mark as to whether she was your daughter?
I left Oklahoma,
Okay.
and I never went back, and I never had any communications with her mother for decades.
Why didn't you
Your
try to
Honor.
follow up with
She
your daughter?
called me because I didn't know where her mother was. I never had a telephone number
You
or
never
anything.
paid child
Your Honor.
support?
Your Honor, they was taking. Her mother came. I sent for her and her mother to Fort Ord. They came there, Your Honor,
what age?
in 1981. I think she was about a year and a half old.
Okay. Let's
So-
get to where you said you never saw her again afterwards.
Okay, I have to tell the story, Your Honor. So after she...
No, you don't. You can
Okay,
give me
I
the
stopped
time
seeing her.
frame.
Yeah.
I stopped seeing her when the sheriff came down to my house
About
and
what?
took her away from me. After 3 days at Fort Ord, her mother had a psychotic breakdown. The MPs came and took her to Silas B. Hayes Hospital in the middle ward. I took her because I couldn't keep her. I'm in an elite
what happened from there?
unit.
What happened from
I
there?
went, took her home. My sister got her some clothes, and then on that Sunday, 5 police cars, Los Angeles County Sheriffs, came to my house and took her because her mother said that I kidnapped her. They had to call my post commander and said that's not the case.
And that was in 81?
And that was in 81.
Okay.
That is the last I saw of her.
Okay, but you did pay child support, so you
Yes,
knew where
they
that
was
was
taking
going.
it out of my-
well, you
of
knew
my
where that was
checks.
going. You knew where she was because you knew
No,
where your
Your
child
Honor,
support
they don't
was
give
going.
you that information.
My grandmother lived in the same house for 50 years.
I don't know that.
Right, because you were never around.
That's right,
Now-
because she's in Oklahoma City and I'm in California.
Thank you
And I'm
for
not
proving
going
my
back there
case.
with somebody to pull a gun on me again. I got away once. I'm not going back.
Your Honor, Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
I wrote a letter every year on my birthday. I always kept him updated as to what I was doing and where I was going. I sent him pictures when I was able to afford pictures because we were poor. We were homeless multiple times. My mother was unstable because of him. I found him. I've made multiple attempts to contact him. I have always tried to say, hey, I'm your daughter. I want to be in your life. I want a relationship.
Did he ever respond?
Never. Until I was 19.
Because I never got any letters.
And I was fed up. I said, you know, I'm 19. I've been writing this letter year after year. You never respond. This is the last letter I'm going to write. You respond or you don't, but you're not going to hear from me anymore. He found me because I didn't include a phone number. He called my room on Great Lakes
That's a lot.
Barracks. We talked from 1999 all the way until 2001 when they started garnishing his income taxes for back child
Did you all
support.
talk from 99 to 01?
No.
Your Honor, he
Did
sent
you all
me
talk
a
at all?
package.
No, Your
Okay.
Honor.
He sent me a package when
I
I was
sent-
in Italy.
I did send her a
and the
package.
package was huge. Like, I had to go and get a dolly to pick the package
That's
up.
right.
When, sir?
I don't remember what
In
year it
2000.
was. But, Your Honor,
And why did you stop, sir? After you sent the care package, why didn't you all
because
continue?
I didn't hear from her anymore.
Why,
I
didn't you,
did
why
not-
didn't you reach back out to her? You knew what she was at that point.
Your Honor, I was raising 3 daughters, and I've been married
Okay,
to
so
the
that's
same
why
woman
you had
for
too many
33
other
years.
children. Okay.
Yeah, by the same woman. And I was raising a family of my own and going to work
My
16
own.
hours
What do you
a
mean
day.
own? She's not your own?
I don't know, Your Honor. That's why I am here,
That's why
because
we're
I
here.
have doubts.
Let's see if he's the dad.
Yes, please. And if I am, I can't. No, I can't.
You can't what?
Because you're mad. She's mad at me for what?
I'm not mad at all, Your Honor. I'm
She's mad at
actually
me.
here
Yes,
to
she
stand
is.
in the
She's
gap
mad
for
at
my
me.
mother
She's
for
been
domestic
mad at
violence.
me. I didn't do anything to her mother.
But beat her.
I didn't do that, Your Honor.
The mother said it.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Anything else from you, young lady?
Do me.
Your Honor, this is a learning opportunity for
I
my
can't-
children.
For your children?
The things that he did to my mother.
I didn't do anything to
the
this
things that
woman's
he
mother.
did to my mother have carried all the way down to still affect my children.
And I'm never
That's-
with you. I haven't been around you
That's
for
3
40
generations.
years. So how
My
am I
mother-
gonna, how am I
It's
gonna do
called
anything?
abandonment. That's how.
My
sir.
mother-
I didn't abandon her.
Go
Her
ahead.
mother didn't want me to have anything to do with her.
I
Well,
know.
be a man and stand up and say, that's my child, and I want
How do I
her.
know you're my child? How do I know you're my child?
That's how you know it's your child. Give it to him. You're the father.
This is a learning opportunity for
Well,
my
learn.
children.
I've learned too.
We're
I've
gonna-
learned
we're-
too.
We're going to work on forgiveness.
I've learned too.
We're
I've
gonna-
learned a whole lot.
You're right.
I've learned a whole
I
lot.
hope so. We're
You're
going to
gonna
learn
work on
on.
forgiveness. You're being a
Me
bigger.
and my children are going to learn. We're going to talk about
Good.
forgiveness.
You're being a bigger woman than the little man. So congratulations. Have a good
I'll
day.
take that too.
I don't need him. I don't need this. I don't need this relationship. So, good riddance to bad rubbish.